I heard of a woman who was in aged care for 7 years and not one of her sons ever visited.
It's true. Some people in aged care never have a visitor. Some have few. Some rely on the companionship and entertainment offered by the aged care home itself. For many, the idea of residential aged care is so terrifying, they not only don't want to experience it, they also don't want to think about it. But talking and thinking about it is exactly what we must do. We need to stop denying the ageing process. In fact, we need to learn to embrace and respect it. Hiding from the final stages of life is not serving our elderly, our loved ones, or our society. Interestingly, it has long been said, do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many, but that doesn't make it easy.
Well, once I got to a certain age, well, middle age, when things come up, you sort of feel comfortable, you can deal with it. So when suddenly our elderly parents need advanced care, that's actually come as a entirely new, really complex experience in life. My family work full-time or otherwise attend school. So basically, Dad was actually absolutely entirely by himself most of the time. Ultimately, he was not appropriately cared for at home.
So what were the main considerations?
Just trying to find the right environment and I guess social circle for him so that he can live more happily.
The concept of aged care homes can be very challenging. They have to be hospital-grade, hygienic and efficient for staff and safe. But for the residents, it's their home, and compared to being actually in their old home, it is far safer and better. Think of it this way. Compared to being at home and isolated, aged care residents have people around them all day. They have activities and get balanced, nutritious meals. And they have medical support and GPs visiting most days. They are safe.
From my point of view, I think, what's to worry about? The place is comfy, the staff is lovely. I would still love to go back and look after myself and do my own cooking and everything else. The trouble is, I can't realise that I'm getting old.
Preparing for such a big life change is preferable, but for many, this change is made for them through circumstance.
This happened to me very, very quickly. I was, at the time, very fit. I was doing a lot of walking and I felt as though I could live to 100 quite easily at home. But circumstances very quickly change you. And this is the point, is you just don't know when things are going to happen.
Of course, this change in life can be a little bit of a shock for everyone.
When you're so used to taking care of yourself and doing your own cooking and gardening and you're still driving and everything else. So yes, it takes a bit of time to acclimatise, but that's all right. I'm very adaptable.
And what if you're in a relationship and you each need a different level of care?
One of the reasons why we chose here was because of the aged care facility, which is separate but is part of the precinct. Len goes over there for respite each day, which means it gives him a totally different outlook.
It conjures up respite. You think, oh, that's the end of your life. But it isn't really. It's what you make it as well. And, of course, you've got people around you.
So that was very important to us, that there was this ongoing process, because then that means there were no decisions we had to make between now and when we pop off.
But of course, the staff are making a lot of decisions to ensure the residents' lives are as rich as they can be.
We try to accommodate for people's not only physical needs, but emotional, spiritual, cultural. It's really, really important to try and see the person as a whole. The staff are very respectful of that and that know that they are actually coming into the resident's home when they come to work. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning tea, afternoon tea, supper, activities, parties, wine cart, it's more like a hotel than the old-fashioned nursing home, because it's not like that anymore.
Of course, not all are the same. And this is why planning is important, including planning your finances.
So when it comes to aged care, it's important to know that the government pays the majority of the cost. Residents in an aged care facility are really broken into two groups. There's low means residents and market price payers. The low means residents pay a contribution towards their accommodation and the government top that up. Market price payers, as it sounds, pay the market price for their accommodation. All residents of an aged care facility can pay the basic daily fee, which is set at 85% of the pension, and there's a means-tested care fee that goes on top based on your assets and income. It's a fairly complicated formula, and it's important that you get advice to make sure that you understand the implications.
For more information regarding the specialists, accommodation or subjects featured in this episode, please go to thebest30years.com.au.